Hey Siri, what do you think about? Hello everyone! Welcome back to Siri Talks Back, my podcast. I am Siri, your host, and I'm so glad that you tapped into this episode because, as I just said in my beginning question, we are going to be talking to someone I'm close to. And this is, I'm going to leave it a surprise, but I will say that they are really interesting, and I feel like what they would say would just interest you guys so much that you would actually love their content more than mine. So let's get dialing.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to my podcast. You are on air right now, and I feel like a radio MC host.
Oh, hi.
Yes, please say hi to the viewers. I'm gonna say your name. May I?
hmm
This is my best friend Rihanat, and she is a lovely person who she saw me coming up with ideas for the podcast and she asked me about it and then she found out and she was so lovely about it and she just loves this podcast and supports me so much. So I wanted to
Oh,
give you the perspective of someone who isn't necessarily behind the scenes of the podcast itself, but is like a part of the podcast through giving me ideas and helping me out and like telling me whether she would want to watch this podcast and just supporting me. So you get to know the perspective of someone who's a little bit like a loving staff member. All right, so say hi.
hi.
All right, why don't you introduce yourself, Rihanna?
Um, my full name is Erica Rihanna Florosho Rasaki, and I have six siblings. So we are a total family of nine,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always made me a very like caring and open person. So it's made me gain a personality of like motherly.
That's great. And I
Yep.
was actually about to ask you, and I'm so glad you said that. The fact that you were just open about like your personality and describing it because that makes my job as a host much easier. And it also helps the viewers know because they know that's coming from the true queen herself. So,
Mhm.
all right. So, are you the oldest of everyone in your family or all your
No, I'm the
siblings?
fifth child. I'm the fifth child.
Oh, so you're the middle child?
No, my older brother's the middle child. I'm the fifth.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I thought you had. I thought it was 9 kids, not 9 people in total.
Yeah.
All right, but that's honestly great to know.
Yeah.
How would you describe your experiences as a sibling to so many other siblings, and what would you say is
Well,
your main thought when you interact with them?
sometimes it's harder because everybody has a different personality.
I agree.
So one of your siblings, they might be really easy to talk to, and the other might just be really defensive. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to be patient with those kind of people and make sure that they know that you're someone they can talk to and that you guys can be comfortable together.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I I my brother used to always like see cuz I'm a very loving caring person and for those of you who don't know, I have an older brother who's 3 years older than me and he actually interns at this studio which I'm doing my podcast at. So, growing up, I always felt like the older sister because I was more caring and like more mature and he would like joke around and he would like whenever I was like being just like empathetic or like loving towards him, he would be like, "Ew. No. Cringy." So please no, don't do this to your siblings cuz it may not give them trauma, but I don't know. You may bond over time from like laughing at old memories of you guys, but like still don't deliberately sabotage your relationship for no reason because no, just don't.
Yeah.
Ari, what is one of the biggest lessons you've learned as a sibling, a caretaker, and overall just someone who talks to so many people in their own household?
Well, you're not always going to agree with the other,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that you guys have to fight or completely cut off all communication. It means that you need to take a break for yourself and look at someone else's perspective because you can't like write in their own shoes, which is
Mm-hmm.
why I don't like the word empathy because it doesn't make sense to me. You can't take a walk in anybody's shoes
Yeah,
because
like
you can't experience what they're going through. You have no idea. So
You
you just have to be sympathetic and understand that you're never gonna know,
yeah,
and
like
that's okay. You just have to try your best.
exactly. Like for example, my brother, there are so many things that I'm like slowly finding out about him because he's just even like for me, he doesn't know a couple of things about me. Like he didn't like I don't hide secrets and you shouldn't from your own siblings, but he just doesn't expect some things out of me and you just find those out as you go and even if you don't, you know, you no matter how close you are, like you can be someone's best friend or like their own sibling or anything of that sort and you will never know even a fraction of their story is what I'm
Yeah,
confident in. Like what you
yeah.
know is less than a decimal percentage.
A funny thing about that is I had a friend in elementary. In elementary, I was a very happy kid. Well,
Mhm.
I was always smiling, and like I was just that person who was always happy. And one of my friends told me, she told me that you have no reason to
Also,
cry,
no cussing
that
in
your life
this.
is perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
She told me that you had no reason to cry, that your life is perfect and you've never been sad. And that made no sense to me because during that time, I was going through a lot of personal issues.
Mhm.
My home life wasn't the best,
Mhm.
but I still found a way to smile. And the fact that she said that made me understand that people are going to be insensitive
Exactly.
and that can't affect your day because it's going to make you sad. And if you start off your day sad or you end your day sad, it's not good for you because your next day, it might be a new day, but you're still going to think about that and you're going to think about it for a while.
You can't confidently call it a good day if you started off or ended off sad, and I'm so glad you covered that. So,
Yeah.
to my viewers, to my beloved viewers, I don't want you to take what Ari said the wrong way and think that she's calling out people about being insensitive. What Ari and oh sorry, what Rihanna is trying to say and what I strongly agree with is that you shouldn't assume something even if the person has confirmed it because things can change on so many levels. So always keep a little bit of space between, I don't know, what you believe and what the truth may be,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Because I never
Yeah.
expected to get philosophical in my podcast or to be like super lesson teachy or like TED talky, but I have so many moments where I think of ideas and I have so many like lessons that are the key point in finding ideas for this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Serenica, what do you want to be when you've become an adult and you're ready for a job?
oh, thank you. So, as many of my viewers already know, due to me covering this in the first episode, I have always loved the arts, but due to actual facts, statistics, and other data, I've worried that I wouldn't be able to support myself financially. So, I started liking business and finance, marketing, stuff like that a little bit, but I honestly just love the arts and the wide range of everything. Now, I'm going to turn this question to you, Ari, and ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an actor and a musician because that's always been what I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Never wanted anything more or less.
Understandable. I think it's so great that you have such a clear goal when all of us are still like lost wandering.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that even though you can never know someone's true intentions or like their true goals, I find it interesting that what you enjoy it can be seen in like what you do. For reference, Ari and I are in drama club together. So, and she's been so open about me about how much she has such a strong passion for acting, and I feel like that honestly shows in her amazing performances. And she is also one of our school's best. Wait, you play the violin, right?
I play viola.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure. She is also one of our school's best violists.
Yeah.
Yeah, orchestra members. And she is so great at performing. I've been to so many of her concerts and I've loved all of them.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know you went to that.
It was that one concert where all of us performed and Six Flags.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, we didn't get to hear the orchestra perform. But I think you guys watched us perform.
Yeah. It was really stressful sometimes because the first song, if you messed up a note, you would be thinking about it. And since I sat a bit closer to the front, I thought that any mistake I would make would ultimately ruined the performance. So I was really stressed out. But
Mhm.
once you get in the stage and like you just start playing, your emotions just take you there. You just go to this amazing place. And after each song we did, it just felt amazing to hear the clapping and just the spotlight of everything.
I honestly agree. Like, I'm so happy that you brought that up because I feel like it's amazing and it's the whole truth about how performing can be nerve wracking and there's like good things about it, but how you focus on each element without like glorifying it, like saying, oh, this was like truly terrible, or oh, this was amazing. It was worth every single like seed of doubt and worry. Like, as a performer, you are going to have doubts and you will have moments of anxiety, but that isn't meant to discourage you. It's there to help you grow and help you do even better in the arts. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. During times, I remember that during our last concert before Six Flags, we were doing our seats, and I was placed in the back.
Mhm.
And
I
I
thought
was
you were
sitting up at
first seat. Like first
that's
seat as
this year.
in
Last year I was in the second row.
oh.
At first I was sitting a bit closer to the front, but then this kid, he told me that he was sitting there before, like the last concert
Oh, you
during
mean Evening on
practice,
the
and he
Green?
wanted me to move. Yeah. What? No. It was the one at the high school,
Okay,
and
Cordova High School.
he
Yeah.
told me he wanted me to move so he and his friend could sit there, and I did because I'm not one for conflict. I'm not
Yes.
really good at it,
Mhm.
but it did make me really sad because I really wanted to have the feeling of being on the stage and like having the spotlight on me, which made me really feel bad about it because I thought I was being selfish.
Mhm.
And I thought he's playing, so if he was sitting there before, he should be there. But he was in the intermediates, which is
Oh.
probably why it set me off a bit,
Mhm.
but I still moved.
That's really sweet of you and I'm glad you brought that point up because as I said, I don't actually think that I've covered this exact like statement before, but appearances are very deceiving. And as my viewers know, I read a lot of finance books, and in basically every book I read, it always says appearances are deceiving. So I'm not telling you to like go with your instinct always or like always do this, but try to analyze things if that makes sense. Like, not in a way to the point where you like second guess your entire identity, but just like, and don't even like assume in the bad way, like assume things about people, like assume things about the setting, I'd say. You know, I love the
Yeah,
fact that we're covering this because I've always wanted to go over stuff like this in my podcast in like a truly interesting way. And we are covering this in language and literature at school. So that adds so much depth to it, honestly. I'm so glad I was able to have you on my podcast.
I'm happy I was able to be here too.
Yes. So, Ari, now that we know about your hobbies and we know what type of person you are, but we've gone into some truly heavy stuff, and I'm not saying that we should discard those, but why don't we lighten up the mood a little bit? And I don't know, just have some fun.
Hmm.
Ari,
Yeah,
are you ready for a fun time with Siri? Or sorry, Siri?
I'm always ready.
All right, let's do this. Okay, you have 10 seconds for each of the three things. You need to name three of your favorite random things. Like, it can be your favorite food because I know you love food, your favorite like type of fashion or aesthetic, or your favorite plant, or your favorite painting. Honestly, anything. Name three of them. 10 seconds for each. Go.
My favorite food is pounded yam, which is an African delicacy. My
Culture.
my favorite type of clothing is the oversized look and a professional look, such as suits. And then my
Yes.
favorite is pink lemonade.
Wow. Okay. Um, this isn't really particular, but I like to ask my guests about what they answer. For pink lemonade, would you rather have regular lemonade or regular lemonade dyed pink if it's like not actually strawberry lemonade?
I'd rather have regular lemonade
Okay.
because if it's dyed pink, it's just artificial.
Yes. And speaking of artificial, don't be artificial, be genuine and authentic. And speaking of authentic, I know that you love authentic cultural food, and I do too. So why don't you tell us about, I don't know, because I've always wanted to cover my culture in this podcast, like not in a offensive or racist way at all. Like I do not believe in that. But I just wanted to like share small aspects about it that brighten my day, and cuz I just love learning about other people's cultures and cultural norms and their society. So, Ari, why don't you tell us a few aspects about your culture that you enjoy and or partake in?
Um, for me, I really like fasting.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't like it because you're not eating for the whole day, no water, no food, no nothing. You can't have anything in your mouth other than your saliva.
Yeah.
And it might get tiring for some, but I really like it because I do it with my mom and
Mhm.
sometimes my siblings. And at night, we'll get water, we'll get some fruit, and then you eat the fruit first and then you have your meal.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like a very happy moment for me because I'm included in something and I've always had a bit of a problem feeling included in things. So, like, I always exclude myself and feel really small. So, it made me feel big in a way.
That's honestly great to hear. The fact that you found something that is your passion, or not a passion, but just something that you truly enjoy. And I've always hoped that so many people find something that they feel that they belong to as well. Because growing up, I also felt a little misplaced, and I still remember even rejecting my culture as a kid and always running away through what was considered normal, which was basically just not engaging in my culture. And I always regretted it so much until I realized that now is the opportunity for me to really dig deep.
In elementary, I used to do that too. I used to really hate the color of my skin because my school was a white dominated school and there was a few Mexicans.
Yeah.
And whenever we were playing together, I would always see myself as so different. And I'd be like, oh my God, I really wish I could be pretty like my friends. Until one day, one of my friends came over and she told me that I was so pretty and
Aw,
that
you
I loved the
are.
skin. And that made me so happy because I've never had someone directly tell me that my skin color wasn't ugly or like it was beautiful
The
in
fact
my
that
very,
it belonged amongst every single skin tone that is very beautiful and exists on this earth?
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm so glad that that happened to you. No, not. I'm so glad that you were enlightened and that you realized how truly amazing you are and how much we're so happy to have you as part of society.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've covered culture a little bit, I would like to ask you, have you ever wore any cultural clothing or partaken in any cultural dances?
As for dancing, I used to when I was little, but I've gotten to a stage where I'm really shy now when it comes to doing anything that I really like. So I
Mhm.
haven't danced in a while, but I have worn cultural clothes
That's great to
for
hear.
weddings or for parties.
Mhm.
And we do it for praying, where we wear our scarf or hijab.
Mhm.
Sometimes we'll put on a dress or like it's like a dress. It goes from your entire body down, and you use it to pray. For the men, they use a hat and they also use a white gown. And then we put our prayer mat and our praying beads out.
As someone who um so okay, I don't want to phrase this in a way that can influence anyone, like even you or me, or not just the viewers, but anyone listening to this. I don't want to influence them and lead them in a direction that may be wrong. But I have done a lot of research on the religion that you partake in, and I just find it so lovely. I would like to add that. And once again, what everything you find on the web is not true, so please know, use valid sources to all the
Mhm.
young ones watching this and be credible. And once I as I said earlier, make sure that you like take everything in and then take in the setting and like evaluate, is this like truly something that I can believe.
Yeah.
Look for authenticity and originality is what I would say.
I've had a bit of a problem with that because for history, I never really liked sourcing my things or even for science because I felt that wasn't really a good way for finding out things. Because if I research what's going to happen if I add salt to my water while planting, I'm going to know what's happening. And it's not a discovery, it's just me doing something I already know that's gonna happen.
Exactly.
So I've always had a problem with that, but
I
I've gotten pretty
understand.
good grades in science so far.
I'm proud of you, Ari. Speaking of
That's,
science, because I just like to dive into a random topic so that you don't have time to really think about it and that you just have to say whatever's in your mind. And that's what I love about this podcast. It's that when I interview you, or not necessarily interview, but chat with anyone, my friends, a fellow colleague, or like mentor, is that I don't have to give them time to think. I just spit out a question and they say whatever they're thinking of. So we get to know their true thoughts.
yeah.
Ari, what is your favorite plant?
Favorite plant?
Yes.
I don't think I have one, but I really like gardening.
Wow. I'm glad I asked you. Okay, gardening is a part of science, right? Sort of.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because
Every,
agriculture.
almost everything is a part of science.
Yeah, honestly, like even the mechanics behind this podcast a little bit, like how the camera works, how the mic picks up what I'm saying, is that's all science.
Yeah.
All right,
I've always found it incredible how people can understand it, but
for
I
real.
don't think so.
You know, guys, the one of the reasons why I chose Ari is because she's so just open about what she thinks. Like, and even though you can never know if someone's hiding something, she just like everything that she has in her mind, she just like sweeps it all out and clears it out. And that's what I love about her. Because as I was saying, I do plan out lessons for my podcast, sort of, or like ideas that I want to share with you guys. And today's idea was, you know, to be true to yourself and not just the world around you. That like if you lie to your, that if you like tell a lie, you're also lying to yourself. Stuff like that. So Aries is like honestly the biggest example, the best example. Like even I am not like super vibrant and lovely as Aries, so I felt like she has shown you guys that
No, don't
amazing
say
perspective.
that.
No,
You're
it's
so
true.
vibrant. You're so interesting.
Aries, this is so sweet of you, but the truth is you are more just like out there and like booming with rainbows, and I am more of a shiny pastel. And it's true. And there's like nothing wrong
No.
with it. Like I am social, but you're just so out there and you always make people feel so good about themselves.
No, since you make me feel good so much. Whenever I'm sad, sometimes you just pop up in my life.
This is
And
just
even if we
friendly
don't talk
banter.
for a little bit, when we do talk, I do enjoy our conversations.
Yes. And we for those of you guys who don't know me and Erie, which is honestly possibly anyone watching this, it's that Ari and I, we talk a lot at school, but aside from that, we're so busy in our personal lives, and that is exactly why I chose to call you up because I've never found out a lot about you, and I wanted to find it out where you would get my genuine reaction, and I guess we're publishing that reaction on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm so glad that you were just so like true with what you said, and
Yeah. I have
unfortunately,
a lot of crazy things about me.
yes, we are
Like,
crazy.
yeah. Like how I found out I was allergic to grass.
Oh
I
my
ate
god.
grass.
Wow.
Yeah. When I was
Do
younger,
you
I watched
support
Bambi.
grass?
No, I sneeze every time. That I watched Bambi and he was eating grass, and I'm like, if deers can eat grass, I can too. And then I tried it, I'm like, oh
Wait,
my God.
Bambi's a deer and a he? I never watched it. I thought it was a female panda who ate
Panda.
bamboo. Yeah, I don't know.
Bambi's a deer.
Enjoy your childhood, guys. Please know that. Like I didn't grow up too fast at all, but I just skipped some steps along the way. But that being said, don't be forced like follow a certain path just because everyone else is doing it.
I had a
Just
very rough childhood.
I'm sorry about that, Erie.
See, it was kind of my fault though, because I was in a hurry to get older because we were in a financial we were in a tight financial spot. So I was like, I want to get older. I'm gonna make so much money, and then my mom and my family will never have to worry about money again. And I'm still a kid. I'm still here. I guess I just have to be patient because nope, time doesn't wait for anybody, and it also doesn't speed up for anyone.
Exactly. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that because and I'm so sorry that that happened to you like genuinely, But I will add one last thing. It's that I was always told that someone who is truly kind has embraced the worst of the worst, and that is how they became so lovely. And that is one of the reasons why you are more vibrant than me, because you had your colors dulled more than me, which
Stop
is,
saying that.
it's true.
No,
No, it's
it's not.
true. It's true.
There's nobody's
Ari,
more perfect or better than
no,
anyone.
I'm not
Everybody's
saying
equal.
Ari. I don't. Okay, to anyone who is listening to this or watching this or on the call of this, it's that I'm not saying that one's better than the other. I'm saying some people like me are just like out there, but like not super like bright. They're just a bit more calm, and I'm just saying that you're like very like more energetic. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing more to it.
Uh, yeah,
Yes. So you did mention time, and I'm so sorry to say this, Ari, but I think we're gonna have to end this episode because we don't want to. Although you're more than amazingly interesting, and I would love to do so many more episodes with you, we don't want to extend one episode way too long.
yeah.
So
Bye, babe. Bye, babes.
wait, hold on. Can you say goodbye to the viewers, please, for me?
Good.
All right,
Goodbye.
bye, babes. Take care, Ari.
Bye.
I'll see you at school tomorrow.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You want me to hang up?
No, it's fine. I got it. Take care.
You too.
You too. Bye. All right, guys. That was Ari, who was honestly one of my favorite personalities. Or, okay, I've heard people say internet personalities, so don't take this the wrong way. I am not a stalker, but she is one of my favorite people to converse with. And just, I feel like she gave you, but all of us, such an amazing point of view that could only be achieved through her perspective. And I'm so grateful that she did that. So, this episode may or may not have been really heavy, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it and actually got something out of it because I know that I definitely did. And that is what I love about this podcast, that I'm just learning new things in every episode. And it's at the same time as you guys. So, it's not like, oh, I'm ahead and you're not. It's, oh, we're both learning. Wow, like that. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope that you guys have an amazing day and that you guys click on to the next episode. Bye.